2 years since I fitted the Top Gear exhaust to my Porsche Cayman S. In this video I'm going to tell you what it's been like to live with, the good, bad, and whether I'd do it all over again. Because you know how it is with modified cars, there's always that little voice in the back of your head. Was this the right choice? Will I get bored of it? Or worse, will I regret it? Well, the first thing I want to talk about with this exhaust is its friendly neighbour mode, as I like to call it. These Top Gear exhausts come with a little fob with an on and off button essentially. And on a morning when it's really quiet and very still outside, you don't want to be waking up all your neighbours. This is where this comes in. The first thing I do in a morning is I grab the fob, start the car up and quickly press it. It makes a huge difference to the noise that comes out the back of this car. No, it's not quiet, especially on a cold start, it's still pretty loud, but it does make a massive difference, and it's definitely worth considering the valve system over the standard system. I've had this exhaust fitted for 2 years, and although there are a lot of things that I do really love about it, there's also some things I dislike, and I wanted to make everyone aware of what it's like when you swap an exhaust on a Cayman 987, or pretty much any Porsche for that matter. These flat sixes sound really similar across the board, so I imagine if you're looking to fit one of these exhausts to a 911, it's going to sound pretty similar as well. Brings me neatly on to the first thing that I love about this exhaust, their sound. Of course, this flat six engine sounded okay with a standard exhaust. You chuck one of these on it and it transforms the car. It makes it feel so different, like words don't even describe. It just, oh. Wow. Wow. There's no other words to describe the sound that comes out the back of it with one of these exhausts on it. It is simply sensational. It never gets bored. 2 years of driving like that and revving it through tunnels, I'm still not bored. In fact, I'd say I love it even more now than when I first got it. It is fabulous. It's, oh, wow, what an exhaust. It doesn't come without its drawbacks, but we're going to talk about them a little bit later. But I just want to focus on the positives at the start of this video. The next thing is the way it looks. I mean, the standard exhaust tips on these Cayman S's are pretty terrible. I really don't like the design of it. It's not a square, it's not a rectangle, it's not circle. What even is it? It's just a horrible shape, ugly looking lump of metal on the back of the car, and I never liked it. It's the one thing that I really disliked about the look of the car. Replace it for one of these 2 circle exhausts in the middle, brings the car bang up to date, and it just looks so much better. So I'm so happy with the way it looks. The exhaust is just a perfect design for the car. And that's the advantage of buying something off the shelf. Previously on all my other cars, I've always gone down the custom route. And what I found with the custom route is that although you can get the exhaust that you want, that you exactly want, sometimes they don't fit 100% perfectly. Sometimes you singe a bumper. Sometimes they just knock about a bit. They're trying to make something fit where it shouldn't. This has been specifically designed for the Cayman S, and although you pay a little bit more for it over a custom exhaust, it's just a bolt-on part, and it makes fitting it super easy as well. because I've been used to having turboed cars, a turbo is a massive silencer in the exhaust. This being naturally aspirated means it bellows like nothing else you've ever heard. It sounds like a supercar, and I'm not even exaggerating. It's got to be one of the loudest cars I've ever heard, and it's still not a straight through. You could make it louder, but I think it's just about perfect. Refueled. Really cool little coffee place there, just on South Cliff in Scarborough. Really cool. Nice little mini airstream. Really good place for coffee, although you can't often park that close. What we need to do now is we're going to take the Porsche out onto the open road, out onto the Wolds, and share with you the noise it makes. Not only with the valves open, but with them closed, and share with you some of the negatives that I found when driving around for 2 years with this exhaust. Now, one of the best things about driving for me is cruising along in the sunshine listening to music. But what's better than music? This exhaust! It sounds insane. Just drop a window, use the key fob to open the valves, and wow! As you can hear from the inside, it's fairly loud. That's with the valves open. But at higher revs, it's completely civilized, really. When I talked about the drone, this is where the drone sort of becomes a problem. So with the valves shut, under certain loads, like currently, there is a bit of drone. It's the one thing that I dislike about the exhaust. And although we're not going uphill at this moment in time, once you're going uphill, it's in a fairly high gear. The revs are around 2,000. It's a little bit droney. There's a bit of a boom coming from it, and that's with the valve shut. The thing is with this exhaust, the pitch changes so dramatically higher up the revs. That once you get higher up the revs, the noise is so much more higher pitched, you get none of the drone. It's not annoying, apart from arguably at slow speeds. And at motorway cruising speed, it is deadly quiet. And that's a huge advantage. For someone like me who drives a lot in this car, I do a lot of European road trips, I take it on very, very long drives, often sat at motorway speed for long periods of time. Having the valves and being able to turn it off makes such a massive difference to me. So yes, they're useful on a morning, but I'd argue that actually they come into their own at motorway speeds, where drone for hours on end could get tiresome very, very quickly. Now let's talk a little bit more about how this thing sounds with the valves open and closed when it's warm at idle. This is with the valves closed. As you can hear, it's not too bad. It's not very antisocial. Press this, however, immediately a tone change. You can hear both valves open and immediately you've got quite a leery sounding car. Shut them off again. It's massively different. I'm super impressed with this, and I can highly recommend that you go for the one with the valve, because if you don't, you're just going to be stuck with this all the time, and that could get a little bit boring. I don't think it would actually. As much as I need the exhaust with the valves to fit my lifestyle, if I use this car as just a weekend toy, and didn't do that many miles in it, I'd probably consider the one without the valves. Because I'm not going to lie, most of the time I spend driving this car, the valves are open. It's only on a couple of occasions where I turn it off. I just like the noise so much. Even commuting to and from work, it's up full blast. It's only when I'm getting through residential areas, early mornings, and motorways, that I even think about turning it off. It sounds utterly, utterly fabulous. So, would I recommend that you rush out and go and buy the Top Gear exhaust for your Porsche? Well, I have to say, from experience, it's the best thing I've ever done to the car. Not only does it bring the car alive, but it gives it a level of personality that you simply don't get from Porsches as standard. Although the car sounded good when I picked it up, it sounds way better now. All the pops, the crackles, and obviously that amazing flat six howl. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video and it's given you a little bit of an insight on what it's like to drive around in a Porsche with a Top Gear exhaust system. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.